What's up? What's up? This is how you're supposed to light a cigar. This is a lecture that you've been asking me for a long time now, and I've tried to stay away from these topics because of many different number of things, various things. But I think now is the time that you understand a little bit better about this subject from a different perspective point of view. From a different perspective, from a different point of view, especially from the power of image, the point or the perspective of the power of image. So, man, this shit is too good. The concept of feminine and masculine energy. Boom, 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 man. The concept of masculine and feminine energy. You see, before we get started on the differences between masculine and feminine, you must understand in the way that you live right now, it is only, and yes, I mean you, and society, and the way that we have been brought up right now, the way that we are used to live, is based on our five senses. Only like that. It is based on how we think, how we perceive things on the outside. We have never been taught how to see things on the inside, right? Never. Ever. Even if someone tries to teach you a little bit of this, which is spirituality, meaning religion, when they try to teach you this, it's only in the format of bowing down before someone else, or before an image, before a god, and things like that. So it is always based on an outside perception. This is because in this third dimension that we live, for us to make sense out of this, for us to function properly, and remember, I've talked about many beautiful, super high teachings. If you have questions, send them to me right now. It will start to make sense more now as I get deeper into this. So in order for us to function right now, we need to work in the concept of duality. This is one of the universal laws. The concept of duality. Yin, yang, black, white, masculine, feminine, Shiva, Shakti, whatever you want to call it. The concept of duality, it is only for us to make sense out of life, because if we live based on our senses, we must compare. We must always compare something so that we can get to know it or experience it. In other words, you cannot know sound without silence, isn't it? You cannot know silence without sound. You cannot know movement without stillness. All of these concepts, the moment you compare them in this dimension, it makes sense to you. Oh, light, the concept of colors, the concept of light. We see and we perceive things simply because they are absorbing light. You see my hand right now, and it is here simply because light is hitting it. So it's the concept of duality. You are witnessing right now, as of right now. So this is why it is perceived as one of the fundamental laws of the universe, in the occult, in alchemy, in the yogi traditions, in all of the spiritual, or all of the high teachings. They always teach you about the universal law of duality. Now, there is a higher dimension, which is something that I've been trying to teach you now. Once you see beyond your body and your mind, you drop your false identities. But I will I don't want to get too deep into that. I've already covered it. We have a product for that. This is for you to understand the concept of masculine and feminine, all right? This is the concept of duality to make sense out of life. You need this concept of duality to exist. Otherwise, you and I wouldn't even be here. Let me give an example. Very simple. For life to be created, you need a sperm and you need the egg of the woman. That is it. Simple as that. That is the concept of duality on itself. And you know that you have it within your genes, inside of yourself, in your DNA. You have genes of your mother. And you have genes of your father. So that means that you have that concept of duality within you. And in order for you to function as a human being, not even as a man or woman, as a human being, you need this concept, this universal principle of duality. So with that being said, maybe you will start getting a better understanding of these energies. Now, when I refer to masculine or feminine, I am not talking about male or female. I'm not talking about man, woman. Simply because what I just said. Because that what makes a feminine energy a feminine, and what makes a masculine energy masculine, you have it within you, within your DNA, and it's all around us. Now, because we live very fucked up, we live in a very fucked up world. We are, it will make sense, you know, I don't want to confuse you too much, but we tend to think that the bigger you are, whether it's within your body or your mind or whatever, the bigger you are, you want to dominate that which is weaker in you. We tend to live in this way. This is because when in the tribal times, in the tribal eras, we needed to work in that way. Otherwise, we wouldn't have existed. We wouldn't have thrived as a species. So the problem within the masculine and the feminine energy is that even though we have been, evolved, we have been growing and improving as a species and as a society, we still function, or we still, at the very least, we still have the same fundamental aspects of the human body. Meaning we still have that same energies that made us. The same thing that we have right now, the same thing that we have or we had when we first came as a species, we still have it right now. So we are kind of used. It has become like a habit to work in the same fucking way. Basically what I'm saying right now is that even though we have been improving and evolving, we still operate under the Neanderthal or under the tribal mindset. A very good example of this is that just look at society as we know it today. We live in a very survivalistic society that is only functioning with survival values. Simply think about economics. Think about money. You may think it is everything. You may think that the money is this, money is that, economics, it is all about hustling. That is just survival. Having money is just survival. It's a survival in a nutshell, in the very fundamental way. It is survivalistic values. Now, if you want to get deeper into this shit, this is the Muladhara, meaning the root chakra, the most basic form of energy. Now, we need that. We need that to exist. Yes. It has a level of importance, of course. But the moment you give more importance to one concept of duality than another, that's when you fuck up. The moment you give more importance to black than white, that's when you fuck up. The moment you give more importance to white than black, that's when you fuck up. The moment you give more importance to masculine than feminine, you are fucking yourself up. The moment you give more importance to feminine or masculine than masculine, you're fucking yourself up. So, in today's world, just talking about these energies is so crazy. Just me standing right here in front of the fucking camera teaching you this, for the majority it's gonna be like, whatever man, I don't give a fuck. It's boring shit. You know why? Because we live in a very survivalistic way. Because we live in a very masculine world. Masculine energy, the very essence of it is action. Pure magnetic action. Pure action. Energy moving. It's moving forward. It's penetrating. It's acquiring. It's conquering. That is the very nature of masculine. So you see, if we live in a world based on economics, based on acquiring and getting more things, of course we're going to give more importance to masculine energy. But let me give you an example now on the feminine side, the feminine energy. Feminine energy, the very fundamental of feminine energy is very fiery. That's why I put up some fire over here. Feminine energy is fiery. It is very hard to control. It has no control over it. Now, I don't know if you're religious or not. I don't know if you believe in the Bible and what the fuck that says. But just to take this as an example, for the purpose of this to make more sense, think about the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve. Without Eve eating the fruit of knowledge, supposedly the society wouldn't have existed, right? You and I wouldn't be here. So that very fiery nature, it is very creative. It is very always moving and always like from one place to another, like very fiery, like it cannot be controlled. If you're not careful with fire, it will consume absolutely everything. Feminine energy, in a very basic way, is very, very curious, creative, super creative. Masculine is effective. So you see, the masculine energy will always see things, whether they are efficient or not, whether they work or not. Does this make sense or not? Can I use it or not? The feminine energy will always look at it from a different perspective, a little bit more creative, like a fucking child. It will always be like, okay, what else is there? I don't care if I use it or not, but what else is there? Very creative on its nature. So, going back to this example of Adam and Eve. Adam was only thinking about survival. I have food. I don't even have to go out there and hunt. I have everything I need. Eve, on the other hand, there's gotta be something more. And then this serpent guy came and said, well, if you eat this shit, you're gonna get all the knowledge in the world. So you see, you kind of get the energies, right? Now let's go to an example in society. Society as we know it, the world, has not always lived in a masculine energy. Have you studied about the Mayans, or the Aztecs, for example, or even the Greeks, the Greek society? They lived in a feminine energy society. But you see, because this concept of duality is not very well understood, you think that one is better than the other one. And you immediately, the moment I tell you this, you're like, oh, no, you're crazy, Pablo. That's fucking bullshit, That's feminine is for weak, pussy-ass shit. Masculine is better. Or if you're a woman, you're like, well, masculine is fucking ugly, Feminists, we are the power, blah, 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 blah. Both of you are wrong. The moment you give power to one, if everything was to become pure masculinity, everything will turn out very ugly. Very fucking ugly. It will all go down to shit. Everything will, we will have to live watching our backs all the time. We will have to go back to the tribal eras, killing each other all the time. But if we lived in a very feminine energy way, pure feminine, it will all go down to shit as well. There will be no sense of control. So you need those two. You need to transcend the limitations of these false identities. You need to transcend the limitations of the concept of duality. The moment you transcend this is when you get to understand that you use them. You have to be able to use these both energies that you already have and that they are all around you. So before I teach you some actual techniques on how to use them, I was talking about the Greek society, right? These societies, the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Mayas, all of them, they had an understanding of aesthetics. They had an understanding and a way of living more in tune with nature, with beauty and all of these things, right? They were in tune with the masculine side, which was acquiring, going out there, pursuing, doing shit, right? Taking action. That's why they were warriors in that time. But they were also artists. There were also most of the beautiful aspects of beauty, or the most common philosophies of beauty as we know them today came from these motherfuckers, the Egyptians, the Greeks. And that is a feminine energy characteristic. So these societies, they live in a very beautiful, perfect balance of feminine and masculine. Does that make sense to you? Why else do you think that we look back into the ancient ones and we say, well, the shamans and the old ones, the ancient ones they were very wise. Why the fuck would we say that? We have more things going on right now than these motherfuckers. We have fire within the power of one click. The Mayas did not have that. We have the internet. You and I know more than all the philosophers back in the day in the Greek society. We know more than them. So, because many number of things happened, there's no rational way of explaining how these societies ceased to exist. The Mayas, for example. I don't want to get too deep into that. Just to give you an example, how these energies function. Nowadays, we don't pay attention to aesthetics. We don't pay attention to beauty. And I remember to one of the first teachings that I gave you, one of the very first lectures. We need beauty to survive or to exist. If we do not have beauty around us, we become very anxious. We cannot simply function. Our level of cortisol and our stress levels, they go way higher, and then we cannot function properly as a human being. So we need the concept of beauty. And the concept of beauty and aesthetics comes from feminine energy. Now, does that make it bad? Does that make it weaker? No, of course not. Now, I want to tap into the thing that being a man or being a woman. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. What I do care, though, is that you transcend this false identity that you think you have. Just because you have a dick does not mean that you have masculine energy. Just because you have a fucking pussy or a vagina does not mean that you have more feminine energy. Just see today's society. We live in a very masculine energy society. And I'm saying this again, because we are turning more and more. Each day we're turning our women more into men. Women need to become more like men, or women need to tap more into their masculine energy just to be able to survive in this society. Because otherwise they don't have a job. Because otherwise they cannot exist. Because otherwise this society, this world is very masculine. So if they want to survive, they have to tap more into their masculine side. That's why the moment one man or one woman says, well, you know, women, we have our rights, and they fight for their rights, that's masculine energy. The moment one woman says, we're better than men, that's masculine energy being manifested. We need to transcend this. We need to look past beyond all of this bullshit. We need to see beyond this bullshit. And instead of thinking about conquering, instead of thinking about this concept of duality, of comparing, we should embrace the concept of oneness, of collaboration. And this is the very fucking concept of masculine and feminine. This is the very nature of yin and yang, motherfuckers. This is the very fucking aspect of it, the very fundamental aspect of it. Just think about this body as we know it. Your mom and your dad had to fuck for you to exist. Meaning, one dick had to go inside of a vagina for you to motherfucking exist. Isn't it so? Meaning they had to, quote unquote, become one. The concept of oneness. They were no longer one dick, it was no longer one vagina, it was both of them together to create life. And you, remember how I started this lecture? You have within your DNA that very same energies. You have certain, X and Y chromosomes. I don't know how to fucking say it in English, but you get what I'm saying. You have DNA from your mom and you have DNA from your father, which means you have feminine energy within you and masculine energy within you. You have them both. You are the concept of yin and yang. You don't need to be with a fucking woman if you're a man to create or recreate the concept of yin and yang. You don't need to be with a man if you're a woman to recreate the concept of yin and yang. Boom. So this teaching, and I will give you some examples, especially for fashion. We need to see beyond our fucking gender. We need to see beyond our fucking gender, god damn it. Because the moment you identify yourself as a man, I have a dick, I am a man, you are limiting yourself. The moment you see yourself as just a woman, I am a fucking woman, I'm better than man. You are limiting yourself, you dumb bitch. No, you need to drop this shit of duality and understand that yes, we need this duality to be able to function in this world. But this concept of duality is not outside of you, it's within you. From there, the possibilities become fucking limitless. So right now, you're witnessing it. I'm wearing a fucking t-shirt full of flowers. It's fucking gay. Gay F. I could, there's a lot of people saying to me, oh man, you're gay. You're too feminine because you know how to dress yourself. Because you're more in touch with aesthetics. Because you know how to cook. Because you know how to decorate a space. Motherfucker, you're witnessing the yin and the yang. I can fuck shit up. I can fuck you up. That does not mean that I'm more man or more woman. Fuck that shit. I'm neither man nor woman. I know that I simply have both masculine and feminine. And I make them both my bitches. I don't identify with one or another. Because that is being dumb. That is the same thing that's being identified by the color of your skin. I am a black man. And black is black power. Black is better than white. Or I am white. I am a citizen of the United States of America. We are the greatest country in the world. Fuck you. You are a human being. Worry about that. Get good at that. Then start fucking with all this shit. Get good at being a human being. You don't even know that you have these both energies within you. And the very or the very example of this, a great example is that you motherfuckers, men, you are so fucking disgusting. The majority of you are so fucking disgusting because you don't pay attention to aesthetics, to the feminine energy within you. You burp when you are walking around and farting like a fucking disgusting piece of shit. And you fucking women, you don't know how to be a woman anymore. You're trying to be all masculine and competing. Oh, yeah, I can do shit, you know, I'll fuck you up. And talking very loudly and shit. Oh man, that's so disgusting. There's nothing worse than seeing men not knowing how to be proper men or not knowing how to tap into their masculine side, and women not knowing how to tap into their feminine side. And that's why relationships are so fucked up now. And that's why society is so fucked up as we know today, as we can see it. You don't have to be fucking Einstein. You don't even have to learn the motherfucking power of image to see that even in today's society that we have more than ever in the entire history of the world. We live more comfortably. We have more shit going on. In knowledge, in comfort, in, fire, survival, in food. We have we have everything. Yet, we are so fucking empty. We have never been emptier. We're always looking for, I feel like I need to connect to something. Hustling. I need to connect to my hustle. I need to connect to my money. I need a woman to connect with, I need to do pickup, or I need to, fuck this shit, man. We're supposed to live, this is supposed to be the best time of our lives because we have everything, goddammit. But no, this is not enough. Well, the problem is these false identities, these false concepts of duality. This bullshit of you not identifying yourself with just pure the five senses, identifying yourself with just the physical aspect of you, thinking with your dick, thinking with your vagina, instead of thinking with your that what makes you you. You're not a fucking lion. You're not a fucking animal. You have consciousness. God damn it. You ought to be ashamed of yourself because you live like these fucking animals, crawling and shit. This is supposed to be a life of consciousness, of awareness. And we don't live like that. And that's why everyone is so depressed. God damn it, man. Never in the history of the world people were taking antidepressant pills. Get the fuck out of here. Can you imagine the Spartans or the fucking Greeks take, I'm so depressed right now. I need to take an antidepressant. Get the fuck out of here, man. So, if you want to become successful, you need to get in touch with your feminine energy and with your masculine energy, all right? Now, if you want to learn it or if you want to see it in the way of fashion, I did a very good live stream today in my Instagram, which I highly recommend that you see. I don't give a fuck if you think of me as a gay man, all right? If you think I'm gay, I could give a fuck. I know who I am, right? I don't need you to be telling me what I am. Oh man, that is so gay, your fucking t-shirt is so fucking gay. Let me take my jacket off so you can actually see it. Oh man, that is so fucking gay. I don't need you to tell me what I am. I know who I am and what I am. And I know that whatever I am, it's not bound to this physical shit. So that makes me so free and boundless, limitless, I don't give a fuck what I wear right now because I know who I am. You see what I'm saying? You are scared of wearing a t-shirt with flowers simply because these false identities. You are a man, right? You have masculine energy, don't you? So that means that you cannot get in touch with these aesthetics and beauty aspects, right? Well, why should I cook me a dinner? That's a woman's job. Oh, why should I learn about how to decorate my space? That's a woman's job. Fuck you, dumbass motherfucker. No. If you're a woman and you don't fucking work, if you're not efficient, well, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't have. What the fuck? Stupid English, man. I shouldn't be doing this stuff because that's why I have a man, right? The man takes care of me. No, you dumb bitch. You don't need a fucking man to take care of you. Because you have that masculine side of you. Inside of you. You have it. So become the balance, okay? You need to create a balance within you. In fashion, you need to become free. The creative side of fashion, which is the last lecture, we talked about creativity. That is a feminine characteristic, a feminine energy characteristic. Being creative, not thinking in terms of, it just works. I don't give a fuck if I look good or not. It just works. It just covers my body. I don't give a fuck. That is so goddamn dumb. I'll give you another example. Tonality, especially if you're in sales. Learning about tonality is a feminine characteristic. It's a feminine energy. The masculine energy does not give a fuck about the subtleties. It just needs to be efficient. It just needs to take action. Which means, if you communicated with pure masculine energy, you would be without any tone. You will be talking in the same tonality, very bluntly. So you need the feminine energy so that you can create tonalities. That makes sense to you? Of course. So you need this in your fashion. You need both of them. The feminine side is to become creative. You don't give a fuck if you're wearing this. Of course, as long as it is congruent with your essence, with your colorimetry, with the SPFC system. You already know about this, don't you? Yeah, as long as it works and is congruent with that, you can wear whatever the fuck you want to wear. But the feminine side is that you become creative. You're not scared of wearing a bright color. You're not scared of putting yourself out there. You're not scared of growing a goddamn mustache. The masculine side, though, is actually doing it. You're thinking about it, but you're like, oh, I don't know, man. I think I want to get a pink suit, but I don't know if I should do it or not, man. The masculine side is just fucking motherfucking do it, alright? Just do it, put it on. The thinking of it and the creative side of, oh, I would look good in a pink suit, that's the feminine. So you see, the yin and the yang, together they form the yin and the yang. Hopefully you are aware of this concept, right? The concept of yin and yang. You remember, it's a circle, right? One half, it's white with a little black spot. And then the other half, it's black with a little, oh shit, I said it incorrectly. One half is white with black spot and the other one is black with a white spot. This is a symbolic way of saying that one cannot exist without the other and that together they create the circle. It is not called just yin. Yin and yang, it's not called just yin. Oh, I am the yin. No, it's not just called yang. It's not only the yang, it's the yin and the yang. Together they create this, they complete the circle. The whole fucking process, they complete it. Now, you don't need to search it outside of yourself with your significant other or with any other bullshit. You have it within you. You just have to reconnect with this. And remember, if you were one of the luckiest people that actually got the advanced training, the advanced part training, I taught you a little bit on meditation. Remember I told you this? I told you meditation is an inner characteristic. It's looking from within, not being stimulated by the outside, but like seeing what's going on the inside with you. That on itself It's a feminine characteristic. So spirituality, which is looking within, is a feminine characteristic, a feminine energy. So you see, you should not be thinking one is better than the other one, or but come on, man. We need to create a better human beings. We need to change the culture right now, because we are headed to a place that is very dark, very stupid. Not dark, but very stupid, simply. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So we need to reconnect with these concepts. Right now, we live in a very masculine society. We need to bring back a little bit of the feminine. Otherwise, the world will fucking end. Too much conquer. We will leave nothing to conquer if we only live like this. If we only live in survivalistic values, I wouldn't care about you. Why? All I care is about my survival. Who gives a fuck about you? All I care is about my survival. About conquering even more. Eventually, if you live like this, you will leave no room to growth. Because you will conquer everything. You will consume everything. So we need a little bit of nurturing. But don't think in terms like, oh, feminine is soft, feminine is, weak. Don't think in these terms, motherfucker. Don't think in these terms. You need to rewire your concepts of yin and yang, of dualities, and your concepts of feminine and masculine. Feminine is not weak. Feminine, I told you, the very nature of feminine is fiery. Feminine is the creation. But right now, the way that you think of feminine is very masculine. The women that I know right now, their concept of feminine is through the eyes of a masculine energy. You see what I'm saying? It's like you're putting on the glasses of masculine, and you're looking at the feminine through the eyes of the masculine. So you are literally not truly absorbing or understanding what feminine is. So please, if you are in this program, you need to become an evolved human being and see beyond survival. Just think about the chakras, if you know about that. You need to evolve. See beyond that. If your survival values are well taken care of, meaning you don't have to go out there and conquer anything else. If you have all the money that you need, if you have all the food that you need, if you have everything that you need to function, what else is there? You will start thinking, what else can I do? I went out there as a man and I acquired the goods. A big piece of stone. That's what I needed to create my house. I went out there and I cut the wood, the trees, to get the wood to create my house. Now I have this big pile of wood. That is masculine. Going out there and cutting the trees. That is masculine. Now once you have that, what the fuck are you going to do with it? You need the feminine side to actually build something with it. Now you're getting somewhere, right? Now we're trying to understand. We're debunking these bullshit myths. And especially all of the people that you follow right now, they think in a very masculine energy way. And they teach you things only on a masculine energy side. And that is fucking you in the ass. Right now you may think it is very cool. It is very cool being like that. Give yourself 5, 10 years, maybe 15 years from now, you will be so motherfucking miserable because you're lacking something. And I'm not saying that you're lacking a woman or you're lacking a man. You're lacking something within you. You are incomplete simply because you are not functioning as you're supposed to function.
So embrace the concept of feminine within you, especially if you're a man. Embrace the concepts of beauty, of aesthetics. Embrace your femininity, your feminine energy. And if you're a woman, embrace your masculine. Embrace your feminine as well, because we're lacking feminine energy in today's society. But embrace your masculine side or your masculine energy without leaning too much into it. Don't be so masculine. Don't lean too much into the masculine. That's why we don't like women we don't like women today, you know. We men, we complain a lot about women in today's society because they're too masculine. We're like, bitch, relax. Let me be the man, you be feminine, you know. But this is because, you know, everything that I just said. So, feminine and masculine energy, it is a lot to cover. Probably you cannot do it in just one single lecture. I could do an entire event of 1 week and even more. And there's still things to learn, right? Maybe on another lecture I will cover just masculine with actual examples. And then on another one I will teach pure feminine. Maybe. But hopefully this brings awareness to you and it opens up the door, or it literally just shows you the door to different possibilities. Whether you go through that door or not, that's entirely up to you. But at the very least, you can see now that, oh shit, there is a door. There is something else. At least I'm showing you that. Or that's what I'm aiming for. The power of image allows you to see things objectively. It's not a matter of worst, better. There's no better style. There's no good nor bad. You don't see anyone up. You don't see anyone down. You just see things, everything as it is. You don't look up to anybody. You don't look down on anybody. You don't think this style is the greater one. This car is the better car. This energy is the better energy. No. You just see them as they are, and then you embrace them, and then you put them to work. You make them your bitches, not the other way around. You see the masculine side of me, I use it. I'm not used by it. The feminine inside of me, I use it. I'm not used by it. That's why you can see me wearing this, but I can still fuck you up. You are witnessing it right now. This is it, the yin and the yang. Why else do you think that very few straight men work in the same industry that I do? Because they're all fucked up. They don't know about this shit. You think that fashion is just about women. Women take care of these beauty aspects, and men, they just work and they don't give a fuck about this shit. No. I'm changing the culture, motherfuckers. And this is why it is a very slow process. This is why the moment I speak, the majority of you are just like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about, man? I don't understand. And you're like, the moment you don't understand something, you get bored. And you just discard it. My suggestion is that the moment you don't understand something, you pay even more attention to it. Just sit there and listen. I will hit one button and it will awaken something in you. But there will be a time where all of these things will become trendy and they will be like, oh man, Pablo was right. Damn, son. Right now, talking about this, maybe it's not perceived as cool. But you know what? Fuck being cool. You'll see me, whether you will like it or not. Because this is getting bigger and bigger and better every fucking day. Alright? Become the best version of yourself. I will see you on the next one.